Welcome to another offline video, this time with a high-stakes 2025 Swiss stage game. On the left we have Onyximus playing Golden Bat, a powerful value fighter from the Tales to Amaze set who gains +2 on his attacks when he hasn't maneuvered a turn yet. On the right we have Rowan playing Chupacabra, a flexible solo fighter from the Battle of Legends Volume 3 set who can draw a card after every attack and can basically play as a mini T-Rex. Golden Bat starts and both fighters double maneuver for their first turn. Then, for a second turn, Golden Bat plays Arrive Just in Time, then plays an attack. GB attacks with Inside of the Ancients into a feint. If the effect wasn't feinted, GB is guaranteed to get back Arrive Just in Time, which would be great in Fatigue. In retaliation, Chupacabra lands a The More They Struggle into a Skirmish, which is fantastic for Chupacabra. This is the second best defense to land it into after he laughs at your feebleness. Chupacabra attacks again with an ambush into like a flash of golden light. Chupacabra only discards a Punch to Shake the Earth, which has a boost value of 1. Golden Bat only takes 1 damage, but the momentum right now is firmly in Chupacabra's favor. If that was Blood in the Air instead and boosted with a tree, Golden Bat would be at 10 HP right now. Chupacabra plays a Traveler of the Night to keep the pressure up. Then, Chupacabra attacks with The More They Struggle into a Sight Beyond Sight. It's not quite a skirmish, but 2 damage is nothing to scoff at. GB gets to rearrange the top cards of Chupacabra's deck before Chupacabra draws with ability. GB decides between attacking or beginning the GB maneuver protocol. For the first action, Golden Bat attacks with Vaporizing Eye Beam into a Ravenous Lunge and randomly discards the last copy of The More They Struggle. It's a brutal discard from GB since it means all 5 and 4 defenses are now safe to play. GB maneuvers but Chupacabra chases with Travelers. Afterwards, Chupacabra plays Unsettle where GB discards Vaporizing Eye Beam to Sight Beyond Sight. Finally, Chupacabra attacks with Wounded Beast into He Laughs at Your Feebleness. With no more The More They Struggles, Golden Bat feels comfy using these now. Golden Bat double maneuvers and begins the Golden Bat experience of double maneuvering. Golden Bat is basically guaranteed to win this in Fatigue if it goes that long. Chupacabra wins this by aggro, not Fatigue. Chupacabra plays a second copy of Unsettle, forcing Golden Bat to discard 2 Terrifying Roars, which might as well be blank trees in this matchup. Chupacabra has no after combat movement, much like many of his Volume 3 friends. GB plays an Alpine Fortress, recurring Vaporizing Eye Beams. With no more The More They Struggles, GB can safely bring back his 5 and skirmishes safely. However, Vaporizing Eye Beams can also damper Chupacabra's offense, so it also works. Chupacabra double maneuvers here and goes to the center of the map. Technically, the center of the map is the 2 spaces below Chupacabra here, excluding the one in the middle. If you're in the center, Hanging Gardens is a move for center map. But against GB or fighters with instant teleports, intentionally sitting below at +1 attack modifier is super awkward. Plus, Chupacabra's boost values are so high that a difference of 1 in maneuver doesn't really matter. Golden Bat maneuvers, then Alpine is Alpine. Never the wrong thing to do. If you keep recurring Alpine when your deck is smaller, Golden Bat can become a move 4 fighter. Golden Bat does end in a single maneuver range of Chupacabra. And so, Chupacabra goes forward and attacks with a feeding into a He Laughs at Your Feebleness. It perfectly blocks, which is great for Golden Bat. Chupacabra does gain an action so the attacks keep coming. Chupacabra attacks with a 210 tail into an Inside of the Ancients. It's a great defense from Golden Bat, since the earlier feeding brought Chupacabra out of the 7 HP range. Chupacabra didn't win the combat, so it's unlikely he plays Blood in the Air, and probably isn't playing a feeding again. Doing that, Golden Bat triggers Insight. Unfortunately for him, and fortunately for Chupacabra, he does only recur Sight Beyond Sight. But hey, it's still a defense. It could be Punch Shake the Earth instead. Following this, Golden Bat double maneuvers away. Chupacabra maneuver boosts with Natural Toughness, then attacks with a feeding into a Terrifying Roar. 1 damage is dealt, but that's it. Chupacabra uses ability to draw, so it's full steam ahead. Fatigue is no longer an option. Golden Bat hits back with a flash of golden light into a feint. If it wasn't feinted, it would have let Golden Bat reposition away. If Chupacabra had blocked with a tree, they would still be at 8 HP, since the feint is Chupacabra's only true 2 block, not counting 210 tail, which is basically a tree. For his second action, Golden Bat plays an Arrive Just in Time just to get out of the way. It's a pretty awkward turn for GB going -2 in hand when you usually want to dig for defenses, but he's pretty far now and is probably safe for at least 1 more turn. Chupacabra double maneuvers and Golden Bat returns to favor. Chupacabra gives chase, boosting with a 4. He attacks with feeding into an Imposing Presence, dealing 1 damage but nothing else otherwise. Golden Bat attacks first action with Vaporizing Eye Beam into a Wounded Beast. No damage is dealt, but the feint is sniped out of Chupacabra's hand. I don't think the feint matters much at this point, but it's a pure 2 for 1 for GB, so it feels pretty good. You might not like it, but Golden Bat is so powerful when running away with initiative on the opponent. When the opponent is forced to approach Golden Bat, GB can just so easily attack first action with a +2 then maneuver away. Both players just rummage through their discard pile, seeing what's left. Let me just fast forward through this part at 500%. A small convenience of playing digitally is that it's so much easier to keep track of what's left. The players have to make sure they know all possible interactions left, otherwise they might throw the game. Chupacabra attacks with a blood in the air into a sight beyond sight. It's just a blank 4, though the high ground turns it into a blank 5, which into a 2 feels great. The game plan for both sides is pretty obvious now. Golden Bat just needs to survive a bit longer, while Chupacabra needs to finish this ASAP. When you think about it, Golden Bat only has 6 good defenses. If you can attack really often, those defenses will eventually go away. Golden Bat double maneuvers, though he still ends up in single maneuver range from Chupacabra here. Chupacabra gives chase and attacks with an ambush into a flash of golden light. This time, ambush rips out a vaporizing I-beam. It's a boost too, which is good for Chupacabra, though I think they'd prefer to rip out a defense. Definitely can't complain though. Golden Bat maneuvers, then Alpines he laughs at your feebleness. GB recognizes the current game state and realizes that all you need to do is literally survive. You know how I mentioned that Golden Bat only has 6 good defenses? Technically, if you recur 3 of them, you're up to 9. Chupacabra tries to give chase, though he ends up a step away from Golden Bat. The two main strategies of these fighters match up very well into each other, as in most matchups, Chupacabra just chases and Golden Bat runs away. I like value Chupacabra, but Golden Bat is a king of value. Using this breathing room, Golden Bat maneuvers and Alpines another he laughs at your feebleness. That's it, there are no more Alpine fortresses for the rest of this game. But that's 2 more 5 value defenses back in GB's deck. Golden Bat also goes up to a high ground. If Chupacabra approaches, now it's going to hurt. Chupacabra maneuvers and draws the last card of his deck, then plays a Traveler of the Night. Then, Chupacabra attacks with a Ravenous Lunge into he laughs at your feebleness. A few notes. 1. Chupacabra needs to approach here even though they're knowingly going into low ground because they've been drawing the entire game. Not approaching here is equivalent to a forfeit. I'm not going to count every card played and discarded so far, but there's no way the deck counts are close. I mean, we know that Chupacabra has no deck left. Second note, if Chupacabra had position at the center here, they would have been able to Traveler's first action and attack 2 times no matter where Golden Bat would be. Assuming of course that Traveler wasn't the last card in Chupacabra's deck. Last point, Traveler of the Night and Alpine Fortresses are both move force schemes with similar arts. Just something I noticed while editing this video. The players go through the discard pile again. Despite the HP difference being 3 to 7, the game is still ridiculously close. Golden Bat attacks with a whopping 8 value super strength into a Ravenous Lunge. The healing basically makes Ravenous a 4 value defense, but that's still 4 damage true. This knocks Chupacabra down to 3 HP, the same as Golden Bat. But the massive difference remains. Golden Bat still has a deck. Golden Bat still has 1 more action. He can either attack again with a +1 or move away. However, if he doesn't kill Chupacabra next attack, he opens himself up to a double attack. Golden Bat maneuver boosts with a punch shake to earth to get out of high ground range. Chupacabra also maneuver boosts here and takes fatigue damage, but so long as Golden Bat survives his next hit, that's game. Golden Bat survives with flying colors, defending with another he laughs at your feebleness into a 5 value wounded beast. Golden Bat hits back with a 7 value super strength into a natural toughness for game. Overall a pretty fun game that showcases both fighters' strengths pretty well. Both players identified and executed their win con very effectively, which is great to see. This video took a lot longer to make, because while editing this a few weeks back, I got an intense sore throat. That's why my voice changes throughout, since parts were recorded sometimes weeks apart. This concludes the high stakes tournament recordings as we move on to other happenings. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can check out my Buy Me a Coffee or my Pixel by ePlayment pages down below. And if you like the content you just saw, make sure to check out the other videos on my channel. Like and subscribe, and see you next time.